Before I jump into today's video, I have an announcement. We are reintroducing the Patreon Mail Club. So this month's theme, we have yokai and spirits, and we're kicking off our new mail club. So the first tier, we have the Monster Mix tier, which comes with a 5x7 original print and a 3x3 vinyl sticker. The original print will be a video coming up very soon. And if you want to upgrade to the Monster Mega tier, you will get that original print, the vinyl sticker, and a sticker sheet. So if you want to grab these goodies, make sure to subscribe over on the Patreon to either of the mail clubs before November 30th. And then these packs will be sent on the 10th for the month after. So you'll be receiving these sometime in the beginning of December. Thanks everybody, and let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we're doing a video for my comic series, Fox Among Hounds. So a couple of you might not know what this is, so let me give you a quick rundown. Basically, on the back burner since, I don't know, like 2018, 2019, I've been developing a comic series called Fox Among Hounds. So in, I think it was 2022 to part of 2023, or maybe it was all 2023, we developed a pitch packet for this comic series, and we've been pitching it to different publishers and trying to get it in front of agents and doing a lot of work to try to get this series picked up. Still working away on it, and I'm probably going to make a video about everything I learned about doing, like pitching a comic and trying to get it picked up. But I still want to keep working on it, and I still want to make stuff for it. And I thought it would be really fun to do some videos on here for like developing the characters and like the world and other stuff, and like just showing my continued work on the series. So today I wanted to do a little bit of like an outfit exploration with one of our main characters, Aina. So Aina is the last princess of the Fox Nation. She's the only royal left after like the end of the previous war where her whole family was wiped out. Her quest is to try to basically reestablish the royal family throne and like try to bring her people back up to the glory that they once had. So that's a bit about Aina. I also covered her in our OC-tober from, I think it was like 2 years ago as well. I'll put a link here in the card for that as well. But I want to explore a new outfit design for her. So her original outfit, I still like. I think it has an interesting look to it, but at the same time, I'm like, I want her to have like armor because she's a sword and shield user, and I feel like she needs a little bit more padding to like actually be able to fight. This other one was okay, but I'm like, I want her to be like decked out, at least in some type of leather armor or something. And then also I've been running into issues where like I did design this outfit, but I didn't think through how it would layer and how it would practically work in like moving and battle. So I'm like, let's try to redesign and make it a lot more practical, both for me to draw and for her to exist in. And then with that too, I want to explore, I guess, weather changes in outfits, because I do really like when certain shows change their outfits. Like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, we had their, the winter wear, and then we went into like kind of a lighter spring summer wear, and then they had full outfit changes in different seasons. That's kind of what I want to do with my characters, so I thought I would explore a couple of different outfit ideas for this one. Basically, I'm going to try to do a new armor design for like her base look that she'll travel in mostly. Kind of a lighter summer vibe, so it's not like super heavy, thick armor. And then I want to do the complete opposite of that, of like heavy winter, because they will be going to very snowy, cold places. And so I want to explore something that would keep her warm in that environment too. Let's go ahead and jump in and get some sketching going to figure out what outfits would look great for Aina in all of these different environments and her new base armor. All right, it is time to jump in and give Aina a facelift. I'm so excited for this. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Like, I love her OG outfit. It kind of has a special place in my heart just because like all of the original pitch packet was made with this outfit. A lot of like the little mini comics I've been working on has been made with this outfit. But boy, this outfit has been bringing me pain. Basically, like the main thing that I wanted to make sure to get rid of in this outfit was I made this like almost, I don't even know what to call it, like a chainmail shoulder patty thing. That thing is awful. Like, I loved the design from like the straight on view, but every time I have to draw her at 3/4 or on Eden or doing anything else, it's a weird thing to draw. It's a weird shape. I don't know how my brain couldn't wrap around how it attached, all that. It just was really weird. So I was very excited to get rid of that. But then like the rest of the outfit I still really liked. So I wanted to for sure bring over a similar feel into the new outfits, but I wanted to give it a little bit more of a practical thing. Plus I wanted it to fit her character a bit more. So the first iteration I still liked, but I feel she needed more armor. Like Aina is a very rough and tumble character. Just for a little bit of backstory, it's not major spoilers. When her family was killed in the raid of the Fox capital, she ends up being raised instead by our leading boy, Bryant. And he's a much more like, I don't know. He's like, he's a guy that like works with his hands a lot. Like he raises animals, he knows blacksmithing, and that's kind of what they had to do to get by during the fall of the nation. So she would not really, I don't know, she'd be much more sturdy and hardy than I think I drew her in the first one. And with that too, I wanted to change her body shape a bit more in this new iteration. So I end up drawing a new like base for all of these. This is almost like playing with those paper dolls where you have the base character and then you're able to like stick on the different shirts and pants and things. That's kind of what I was trying to do with this. So I recreated the base after I finished sketching some of the ideas. And then I just basically drew and layered and put all these different layers onto Aina. Plus I wanted this to be a reference in the future of like, okay, if I remove the fur pelts from her shoulders, what does the armor look like underneath? So now I can reference it in the future. But anyway, so with that and her being much more rough and tumble and like growing up being basically a blacksmith and an animal handler, she needed something different for her overall character. Like I picture her a lot more muscular and not like thin and petite, if that makes sense. And the first iteration, I think I made her in like a kind of in an in-between, but not enough towards that muscular side that I wanted for her. So in this as well, I kind of changed her body proportions a bit more to fit closer to what I wanted in my brain when I first had her concept art made. I wanted it to be more of a leather-based armor for a couple of reasons. First off is the economic side of things. So in this like post-war, I guess, society within the Fox Nation, they don't have a lot of disposable income, and a lot of the, I guess, rare materials or expensive materials like steel or brass or anything else that would be made to or used to make armor would be funneled out of the country or used for other things, or even used very sparingly for the rest of the nation. And so I did not really foresee it being used in armor. So from an economical side, that's one reason. But another reason is like, I feel with her, she's much more of like a sword and shield user that moves around a lot and she doesn't like tank like as I picture if you had metal armor. She doesn't sit in place and take hits. I think she's much more of like needs to be agile with the sword and shield. So I didn't want to weigh her down with too much armor. I've always pictured her as a much more agile fighter. And so the leather will give her pretty decent protection to a certain extent, but it won't be clanky and heavy like metal. That's why in her first iteration, I only had like that chainmail shoulder pad thing, because it was the same idea. I'm like, I want her to be able to move and be flexible and have the ability to kind of pivot in a fight and not be slow, I guess you could say. So with this one, when I was developing the layering for the armor, I had a bunch of reference up trying to figure out how the segmentation could work for a chest piece. I went on Pinterest and I saved so many different armors, both historical and like newly manufactured ones, just to figure out how the armor could lay on her body and work practically. So I was keeping that in mind while developing the look. With that too, I wanted to make sure that there was adequate layering, because if you don't really have good underclothes when wearing leather armor, you're going to develop the worst blisters. So in my brain, there's a green shirt that she wears underneath everything. That's like kind of the lighter cotton shirt. And then there's a heavier tan, I wouldn't call it a gambeson. It's not like a fully padded shirt, but I would say it has at least a thicker, better padding to it that could withstand basically the rubbing of the leather on a daily basis. And then I wanted her to have a little bit of protection on her legs. Like, yes, she has the shield, but if something misses the shield and grazes her upper thigh, if it's like aiming for there, I wanted some protection. And then I didn't really want to put too much on her bottom, like half of the legs, because I want her to be very agile. Like, I know I could put greaves and other things in that area to give a little bit of padding, but I just didn't feel it fit her character and like fit her dynamic in general. I think I'll use it for another character in the future, or maybe even like if she goes, I'm just thinking about in like Avatar: The Last Airbender, how Appa got armor or like how the characters slowly got better armor for like the big fights at like Black Sun or in the finale, you know. I'm thinking it would be interesting. I could pad her even more for one of those type of big fights, but for practical, everyday, you know, run-of-the-mill traveling to the different nations, I think this armor will be more than sufficient. And so for the other ones as well, the summer one, or like the lighter wear, it would be basically the same clothes that she's wearing, but removing some of the armor just to be a little bit cooler. I could see her also just going down to just the undershirt if it was way too hot outside, but I'll have to see when that would come up, because I don't think she feels like she always needs to be in armor, but we'll just have to see when and where it's going to get used. And then finally for the winter wear, it would be probably the same armor set, but I wanted to explore exactly what her cloak would look like so then I can have a reference for it in the future. It would be very simple. I think the thing overall with Aina's design is it's simple and practical, because they're coming from a place that they're not economically super stable and set just because of the fall of the Fox Nation. So they wouldn't have the most elaborate, amazing outfits, you know, like they get what they can and it works for them. So even like her cloak having this kind of gold embroidery on it, it probably was a special gift from someone who knows who she is, you know, just because it wouldn't be easy to come across really nice products in this land, because a lot of their resources are outsourced now at this point. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of a little bit about the backstory, what I was thinking with this design, and I really enjoyed redesigning all of these outfits for her. All right, here are her finished outfit designs. I think this turned out pretty dang cool. It was really fun to do some type of exploration with her and like figure out maybe a new look that still kind of was similar to the old look. So I wanted to keep the same color palette throughout all of these. And I was trying to think also with like how to layer. I probably talked about it a little bit in the voiceover, but I wanted something that could be layered and work in like the different stages. So we have like our main armored outfit where she gets every single layer possible and she's protected with her full leather armor. And then I thought like the lighter, almost like summer look could be just like without the main breastplate and just like converting to some more comfortable, breathable shoes and pants. And then the winter wear would be very similar to her base one, but we get a nice furry cloak to add to that. And I think they turned out really cool. I'm very happy with how these turned out. And now I have like a new reference to go off of and like use these in the comic. I think I'll explore a few more and just try a bunch of other ones before I really fully set my sights on these, but I'm pretty happy with these. I might even just do like a couple iterations from these, you know, like maybe modify how the armor looks on the breastplate, or like change the pauldrons or the greaves or something, you know, like change some things around. I'm also trying to think of simple, but like looks like it's kind of complex because I have to draw this a million times in a comic. It's almost like animation where There's a certain amount of detail you can get to before it starts to become a little bit unanimatable. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind for this comic as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you're interested in following along with the news of Fox Among Hounds, go to foxamonghounds.com and join our newsletter. I'll be posting all the updates on what's happening with it once we get further in the development process. And if we do get lucky and pick up a publisher, or if we start self-publishing it on our own, you can find it all out through the newsletter. Also, if you want to see more content for this comic and kind of more of my videos, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below if you enjoyed the Fox Among Hounds stuff, because I'd love to do one of these like every month or so. I just love this series. I love the characters, and I can't wait to share even more with you guys as I keep developing it. And then I want to give a shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting me and my art journey. If you guys would like to get behind the scenes access to all the artwork I make on this channel and high res versions of them, you can check it out there. And then we're going to be launching a mail club over there on Patreon where you can get like stickers, sticker sheets, prints, goodies sent to you every month. So if you want to check it out, go check out my Patreon and sign up to get some exclusive goodies every month. So again, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video. I super appreciate your support. I can't wait to do more of this comic, and I've been having so much fun making all these videos for you. So I'll catch you all next time. Bye, everybody.